reporting on the games you love by people who love to game. The MMO Reporter Network.
Elder Scrolls Online it's all about the war. That's really the name of the game. And they've reflected that by turning the entire Cyrodiil into a PvP always battlefield, complete with towns and keeps and all kinds of interesting terrain. It's a beautiful place. I think the real goal is just to tear it to pieces. There's some PvE content in there which was quite amusing when I stumbled on it the first time. It's all a big sort of ring of keeps and resources and farms and mines and things around sort of the central Imperial city. It's all about sieging and taking those keeps. The end goal is, through however that function works, is crowning someone the emperor with all the power and vulnerability and whatever that entails. And so first your empire's got to essentially get into a winning position, and then I presume the leader of a powerful guild can work their way towards crowning someone the emperor.
It's a massive area for a start. I mean, there are a lot of games that have big areas, but as the fact that you're in Cyrodiil, you've got the whole area to explore is really interesting and quite neat, especially since you've got loads of PvE zones in there as well. You can work simultaneously within the PvP areas. You have all your towns and villages that you'll probably remember from Oblivion, so if you're an Elder Scrolls fan, that's really neat and really cool. And I know I enjoyed it, and I'm sure other people will. Also, you have a number of quests you can do in there as well. You have kind of bounty quests where you can kill players. You also have scouting quests. If you're not so into the killing bit, you can go to mines and farms and that type and do your kind of reconnaissance, which is very cool. And a couple of other missions as well. You have loads of stuff that you can do. You don't only have to be committed to one thing. There's loads of different things you can do in there. And you can really tailor it to your own playing style as well, which you can't do so much in other games.
The PvP differs from other games because it's mostly because of the scale. Cyrodiil is huge. If you die while you're sieging an enemy keep and no one's got a forward spawn camp set up, you're going to be running for a little while, at least 10 minutes from the nearest keep. So having a mount is really important. Those of us who have ordered the Imperial Edition will get a mount anyway, which is great. But anyone else has to save up a fair amount of money in order to get one. So this could cause sort of logistical problems with people coming in sort of dribs and drabs, and you don't end up with a massive localized force after the first push when people start dying. Also gives rise to interesting tactics.
I think another nice thing about it as well is that you can have a PvE character. It does not have to be a PvP character, so to speak. You can still have a PvE character. It can work quite effectively and quite well in PvP zones. You don't have particular armors and things like in other games that you need specifically for that type of thing.
Now, I'm not usually a PvP kind of guy. I particularly rebel against PvP that feels like it's been bolted onto a PvE game. That usually manifests in sort of battlegrounds / hut ball kind of team events. I really don't like that. Elder Scrolls isn't like that at all. It feels like they've had PvP in one hand and PvE in the other, and they've built them up together to be both very rewarding and very fun activities. And I can certainly see myself as a self-confessed PvE player to be spending quite a lot of time in PvP once the game launches all throughout my player's career.
Also, I think with all the 5 guilds, it's going to be very difficult in many respects to actually have a dedicated PvP group without having other people involved from different guilds who are spying and doing things like that. So I think there'll be a lot of suspicion raised as well. I'm hoping it's not going to be a major problem, but I think that would probably be one of my concerns.
I quite like the siege warfare. Basically, you can put your siege engines wherever you like, as long as they're a flat piece of land. It's not fixed down to certain points, and you have battering rams, ballistas, catapults, trebuchets, and burning oil pots, and different ammo for many of those, which do different things against, say, better against the walls or better against players and NPCs and things like that. We ended up in a situation during the recent test where we were picking on the corner of the outer keep wall, and we took it down. Unfortunately, it collapsed and gummed up the doorway, or the bit that we would have gone through. All we could do was fire in more trebuchet rounds, flaming sort of trebuchet balls through sort of a top window kind of thing at some hapless mages inside. But we had to pick on another piece of wall so we could actually climb into the keep, which was a little frustrating. But hey, that's what happens sometimes.
As there's loads of land as well, you could probably have a really good time with friends, having massive groups of people and kind of formulating your plans and getting loads of tactics and strategies if you're into that type of play as well. My favorite PvP feature is the fact that you're running around Cyrodiil. I think that's cool. I like the fact that you can go to all the cities that you're used to visit in Oblivion. There's also loads of little houses everywhere and mines and that type of thing as well, where you can gain supplies and things like that, and also hide out if you need to. I think the siege engines are very cool as well. You have battering rams, and you also have other bits. I mean, you can actually pull down castle walls. I think what's really interesting is being able to go through the walls as well that you've taken down. It seems like you'll be able to get a lot of people in Cyrodiil, and a lot of people doing things. And the PvP looks very cool at night as well, when you have all of the trebuchets firing and the battering rams hitting down doors and the oil being poured from the walls and things.
I have to say my favourite feature is probably those siege engines. I like the fact that the keeps are fully destructible. You set up your siege engines, you knock a great big hole in the wall and you climb on through. It's pretty fantastic. It's real good fun.
Get out there, PvP, and have fun. It's a good experience, and take friends with you.